What's going on, everybody? We just got finished watching episode 1 and 2 on tonight's premiere of WandaVision on Disney Plus, and we have quite a few things to say about it. My name is Travis.
And I'm Peel, and this is the Travis and Peel Show.
Okay, so I gotta tell you, I'm pumped, man.
I'm really pumped. A lot of things.
A lot of good stuff. Lots of things.
How many days has it been?
It's been 562 days, my friends, since the last time we got a tidbit of the MCU, which was Spider-Man Far From Home. And I got to tell you, man, it feels so damn good to be back in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
It feels really good. It really does. Congratulations and thank you.
Oh, to
so
me?
Much.
Thank you.
Marvel.
I appreciate it.
That's
very nice of you.
To Marvel for bringing this to us. It's the first content in 562 very long days. Might as well say years. That's what it feels like right now. And it opened up WandaVision episodes 1 and 2. Thank you, Disney Plus, for giving us both episodes. And
also, F you for not just like letting us binge it, okay? What is this? 1989? Get out of here with that mess.
I personally really do enjoy that we have to wait every week. I like what the companies are doing. You know, they did it with like The Boys. You know, they're doing it with WandaVision. They're probably going to do it with all the other shows. I like that, having to wait a week. You know, wait a week. You got something to look forward to. You're going through your Monday. I mean, the NFL is ending, and for me, so like life's about to get really kind of boring. So we got the MCU now, and it's going to give us something every week, and we got content every week for the rest of this year. It is going to be non-stop. Like, that's guaranteed. It's already said. For the rest of this year, we're getting new MCU content every week. Very excited about it.
And most of it all TV shows too, which is fine. I think it's more content than, you know, waiting.
I am perfectly fine with this.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So another thing that's pretty cool is this damn show, man. So let's we are going to get spoilery in this video.
Yes,
a little bit.
We are going to give some spoilers, but we're going to wear it.
Let's just take a couple of minutes. First impressions, what are your thoughts? Are you happy, sad? Are you concerned? What are your thoughts, Peel? A couple minutes overall in the show.
All right, well, we're here. We're doing this show, so obviously pretty excited about it, right? I'm really happy that we get some great content to talk about. This show, it leads us off, as everybody knows. We already had trailers everywhere. If you know the MCU, or if you don't know the MCU, this is a great show to dive into. This is giving you some great things that we've never seen before from like really any company that has this ever-expanding world, and taking on the small screen like this in the way that they did, paying this homage to everything from the classic era of television, opening up with this, you know, Dick Van Dyke or I Love Lucy type show that they're giving us right now in this first episode was amazing. That genre and how they really stuck to these characters, and the way that the comedy hit, the way the laugh tracks were going. I mean, they really hit it, and the whole feel about it was fantastic. Yeah. I think the MCU did a really great job on introducing us with the first episode of that first feeling of that era, of that sitcom, and that love and joy that everybody got to experience week to week. And now we, week to week, are going to get to experience probably a new decade, a new era, a new something, kind of exploring this expanse as we go into this new realm of the MCU.
So I'm guessing you liked it.
Yeah,
it was all right. For me, I am. I was super hyped that the MCU was coming back. We've seen trailers. We know that this show was going to be extremely trippy. We knew it was going to expand on the high concept of the golden age of television. We knew that was all going to happen. In my first viewing of episode 1 and 2, I was actually kind of caught off guard about how it was like fully dedicated to just like the episode, about 95%. I thought we were going to get some of this, okay, what's happening inside the bubble, and then also what's happening outside of the bubble. What's happening, you know, with all these other characters that we know are going to be in the show based off of trailers and stuff. And I was kind of caught off guard. So after watching the first 2 episodes, I was like, hey, look, it was good. I like what they did. They really knew what made the golden age of television magical, and they replicated it perfectly. And the acting on top of that was so good, which we'll touch on in a little bit. But then I jumped into a second viewing of episode 1 and 2, and then I just got it. And then it made sense. So like I went from being like, oh, I didn't know what to expect, to going in with like a cooler head, and I loved these first 2 episodes, my man. Like they were fantastic, and we're about to go into like the core of the show, which is kind of like the golden age TV segments of this program. And I think
so. You're saying you liked it too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they knocked it out of the park. But let's get into that, guys. We are going to start touching into a little bit of spoilers here, or probably a lot of spoilers. But let's really talk. Let's talk about the core of the show. Maybe like the non-MCU stuff. What makes this show tick is like we are recreating shows like Dick Van Dyke, I Love Lucy, Bewitched. We're recreating these shows, but with Wanda and Vision. And it's a really
going forward, everything that we are talking about, we want to 100% say, if you have not seen the show, please watch the show. It is fantastic.
Watch the show.
It's awesome. And join in with us and go on this adventure every week as we hit all these episodes, because it is fantastic. We both love the show. Great intro for a lot of people. Even like, I was talking about this with you earlier, actually. And, this is how this show was presented. It goes, my parents were watching this, or some people, who might be watching this video right now. It's like their grandparents or even their great grandparents watch that kind of TV, and I watched it growing up, so it was really fun to see, and it's a great introduction into the MCU going into the 4th phase, and it's going to be fantastic. So yes, please watch the show. 2 thumbs up. Now we're going to spoil the shit.
So it kicks off with something very, basically Dick Van Dyke, but with Wanda and Vision, and they just got married. They are just moving into this new
standard format.
Yeah, they just moved into this
format screen.
Yeah, with the 4x3.
I was like, what's going on?
It was interesting to see the 4x3.
You had the widescreen. That was the first thing that I was like, whoa. So anyway, sorry.
Yeah, and so we have Wanda and Vision moving into this new place, and it's them essentially trying to live their life in their little bubble of a home while making sure that no one else figures out that they're superheroes, and then like just your standard cheesy 1950s television hijinks ensue. And I gotta say, like the job that Olsen and Bettany did on this show to play these characters in this day and age, or the day and age that they're playing in. They just knocked it out of the park, man. They are 2 absolute powerhouses. I even saw people online like, I'm surprised Paul Bettany was so good. I mean, I'm used to him as Vision, and he's very stoic. And like, have you not seen A Knight's Tale? The guy's funny as hell. Like, he's really funny. Yeah. So like
Paul Bettany, Elizabeth Olsen, fantastic. And I know that you're about to hit on this, and I like to say it too. Catherine Hahn. I mean, tell me how great that she is as a person, as an entertainer. Fantastic. I know this is one of your great spots right here. So please don't.
I love Catherine Hahn. You nailed it, man. Like, she is a powerhouse in this show. If there's anyone like Bettany and Olsen are great, but if there's anyone that like gets it, like knows how to act like she's in the 1950s and 60s, it's Catherine Hahn. I've been a huge fan of her since, Anchorman and Step Brothers, and she did a few episodes of Parks and Rec, and every time I see her, I love her more and more and more. And then this right here,
fantastic.
This is like chef's kiss. She kills it, and in the trailers, it seems like she like nails every time period that she does.
Every era of what they're going through, what they're trying for.
But now that we've seen the 50s and 60s of what she has to offer, like she kills it. I can't say enough. I think she is like the highlight of this show for me. As good as Olsen and Bettany are, Catherine Hahn just is kind of like my MVP so far. And I think
let's talk about that.
Well, we'll get into the
Let's talk about this. Episode one, set in the 50s, and in the likes of, like we've talked about before, Dick Van Dyke, I Love Lucy, the Honeymooners, kind of things like that, where it's that classic atomic family, and that's what it feels like. You have the very print dresses, something out of Homes and Garden, this beautiful setting. It's a classic television, like sitcom, where it has this goofy laugh track, and the effects, everything that's going on in the show during this
all
time,
practical.
It's all it's hoaxy, it's campy,
like
really
levitations done by strings, like everything's hung on strings and floating around and everything. And Elizabeth Olsen's like her mannerisms while she's like flicking her fingers and like
kills it.
She's
fantastic.
So great doing that. Yeah, she's so great. And even going into like episode 2, the campiness, it's a different kind of campiness, even though they only jump about 10 years.
Style changes. It
evolves
a little.
It's really interesting, and I loved, like they unabashedly just steal from other shows. Like in episode 2, you have like the entire Bewitched intro, but with Vision and Wanda instead of it's
right.
It's so well done.
Bewitched, yes. The cartoon intro, everything.
Yeah, they do a really, really great job with that. And episode 1 was really, really good. Episode 2, I think, was, for me, even better. I thought it was a better script. I thought it was funnier, more amusing. They used they used their cast, which it seems like it's going to be the same cast really every single era. Yeah, they're going to keep the same actors every era. So we'll stay with these same people, regardless of like what age they change. So that's really interesting. But yeah, man, I love what they did. I didn't expect them to go like all out. Like 98% of each episode is a standalone episode, and I wasn't expecting that. I was waiting for some MCU stuff to happen, which we'll touch on.
It is its own
the
thing.
MCU stuff is there. It is there, but it's like in
which
small,
we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about.
Yeah, it's all in small doses because they want to really keep us a mystery. I thought they were going to slap us in the face with MCU since it's been over a year and a half. But no, they're actually taking their time with it. And you know what? Now that I say that, to your point, the fact that they are keeping so much a mystery may be a boon for this being a week-to-week show. I think it could benefit it. It just depends on what the drops are. Like, what are the big reveals that we see,
Guys like us, dorks, are going to sit here and debate and talk about things and just ransack. We're going to go online. We're going to go on Reddit. We're going to dive into these little holes, trying to figure out what they're trying to do in this show because they hide so many things. And we've talked about before in discussions, just so many Easter eggs that are hidden throughout the show in this context. There's a wine bottle. There's something in the credits. There's something in the intro. There's so many little things. And we've only seen it twice. I know we both only watched it twice.
Each episode gets a commercial with like something like heavy on like Tony Stark or awesome. Hydra. Yeah. Very interesting.
Awesome. So I think with this being said, okay, so we know that the first episode is based in the 50s and a la, Dick Van Dyke, things like that. And then the second episode is, based in the 60s, as we talked about The Bewitched. So these are the episodes, and they did fantastic. They delivered on every little like campiness, every little quirk, the things that made those era of televisions really pop. We both agree that they did a fantastic job on
They did their research, for sure.
Let's dive in and definitely start talking a little bit about what is here in the show, why we're here, the MCU, Vision, Wanda, Sword, which has changed up its acronym meaning. Is if you've gone online or anything, it's now the Sentient Weapon Observation and Response Department. But in the comics, it was always the Sentient World Observation and Response Department. So, anyways, small little detail changes I saw online, but. So now they're not watching like necessarily the galaxy, but they're kind of watching, weapons or superpowers, things that, are destructive probably, to the world universe, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a little interesting take. And we saw Sword a lot through both of these episodes and nuances. We saw the notepad, we saw the helicopter, we saw the beekeeper, and so many things they're about to talk about because there's so much stuff to unpack in the show.
You mentioned Easter eggs and hidden things and a lot of stuff that's yet to be revealed, like little hints of things that need more reveal later on in the series. I got to tell you, man, there is more like hidden Easter eggs and just hidden content in the 67 minutes of these 2 episodes than I've seen in anything MCU, like, ever. There's so much jammed in here. It's really impressive of how much information they put into these 2 episodes. It just goes to show how much, like, this is going to break wide open in the end with all this other MCU stuff and everything. But like I said, they didn't give us very much, but the stuff that is here, it's interesting. So, like in episode 1, for instance, for the first 25 minutes, it seems like a normal episode of, you know, Leave It to Beaver or whatever. And then, like, out of nowhere during a dinner scene, shit just goes David Lynch sideways and haywire and crazy. And it's like, okay,
right. Everything
now
stops.
I see. Now we see what this show is going to be. Like, we're starting to get a taste of what the show's going to be. Something is not right in Pleasantville. Something is going
right. There are
wrong.
layers of this. What's happening?
Wanda has projected something. She has created this alternate pocket reality, or she is being held against her will, or she made a deal with the devil, or something has happened.
Or, like I said, I've even said, but maybe she's in Vision's head, or maybe she's his battery now, keeping him alive since the stone was removed, or maybe, like we've talked about before, maybe his consciousness is in her because they're connected through the Infinity Stone. The last
time we saw Vision,
you don't know. The guy was dead.
He got his head ripped out.
Him, sitting on the floor that just had a freaking, Infinity Stone ripped out his forehead. Yeah. And now here he is, black and white, being all cool and suave,
having a good one,
digging it,
chewing some bubble gum. So yeah, so the show definitely, we're starting to, like, they leak you just little tidbits. So, like, going to what you said, like, you enjoy the week to week, like, this does benefit the whole week to week model so far, because it's teasing us, it's giving a little taste that, hey, something is really messed up and we're about to blow the doors wide open in a few episodes.
It's that anticipation that we get now.
Yeah, it's really great.
Not the instant gratification, anticipation.
Mm-hmm. So there's definitely a lot of stuff going on, in the outside world. There's a lot of mystery, especially in episode 2. There's even more mystery. There's like a radio station that's playing, and then all of a sudden they start blasting. You start hearing, like, Wanda, who's doing this to you, Wanda? So apparently Wanda's in trouble, or she's. We don't know. Like, I'm sitting here trying to think of guesses, and we have no clue what's going to happen.
And it's just the end of episode 1.
Yeah, I just didn't
expect. At the very end, they back out, and they're showing them watching them, and there's the notepad and everything. So, something is happening here.
Sword is definitely, like, they know what's going on. They know something is happening, and they're trying to get down to the bottom of it. Because we know that Scarlet Witch is super dangerous. Like, she's insanely dangerous.
You mentioned this earlier when we were talking about this, off camera and everything, but we've seen her use all the powers of the various Infinity Stones, pretty much.
Yeah, she can touch onto a little bit of each of the gems for sure.
I mean, and even in the comics, she is. I mean, she controls so much. I mean, the House of M, like, so many things happen because of Wanda, and not a lot of people, a lot of people didn't know about her as a character, and obviously her abilities have changed for the MCU, but yeah, she's a very high level dangerous person, and maybe that's why Sword is in this now, because it's that superpower, that weapon that they have to observe and respond to, that she just went through a very traumatic experience, just lost Vision, obviously the world's gone crazy.
I mean, we've seen her lose control of her powers and kill, and literally kill people. So,
by accident, she was, putting it up in the
accidentally killing people is kind of her thing. So, no, but there's really interesting stuff in this show, man. And I think that, like, it's actually a difficult show 2 episodes in to really talk about. It's another thing we touched about off camera. It's like, this is a really hard show to talk about. Because, like,
we're gonna come back to so many things. We're gonna be on episode 5, coming back to episode 1, rewatching something like, oh my god, look at that pillow was shaped in that shape, and we didn't even think about it. Look at it.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to revisit at some point. I think once we get to the season finale, we're gonna have to, like, do a kind of like a season in review after we do all these individual episodes, because there's so much we don't know. We're gonna look back at this video and be like, we didn't know what the fuck we were talking about. Like, we were completely wrong. We were way off base. Yeah. I cannot believe it was Devil Dinosaur. It was Devil Dinosaur the entire time doing everything. Like, well, I didn't see that coming.
What do the numbers mean? I mean, we see their address a lot, the 2800. The
I
numbers
don't
are on
know.
the side of the helicopter. In
I
episode
can't
2,
even.
the helicopter's there. The only thing in colors, and it throws you out those stark colors.
I don't
In
have
episode 1, the first color we saw was red on the Stark toaster during that commercial. And what is that? And if you kind of look at it, could be like a throwback kind of thing.
It looked like a face. It looked like a face, and then the red light was Vision's
dot
gem.
in the middle.
Yeah, it was his.
But
his
it's
gem.
also a Stark product, and it was one of those campy type commercials. And then the next episode, we see the same 2 people in a new commercial, and they talk about their Strucker watch, and that's the one who had them.
Strucker had Quicksilver.
Von Strucker, whatever.
Yep.
Was the one who had her and her brother in the films. So there's a lot of things that are going on here, and it had the Hydra watch on it. In our minds, like if she is like locked up, are these her captors? Are these her doctors? Are these people who are trying to help her? Are these her foster parents that she had in Sokovia? Or are they going to bring it out like these or her real parents? Because we still don't know how the MCU is going to play the Scarlet Witch, because in the comics Magneto's her dad, blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot of things that unfold here. And does this even lead into that?
There has to be a lead in. Yeah,
unplugs that. Oh crap! Here's Magneto, and this is my daddy.
I don't think we'll see Magneto. But I do think
cool lead up going into the future of this being the beginning of this.
Yeah, we'll definitely get some sort of lead in to mutants. We also know that this is going to lead directly into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness too. So this is almost like a precursor to that. Yeah. So there's a whole lot of like entanglement going on between all of these movies and TV shows and everything like that. But other MCU
have
stuff.
You guys watched Doctor Strange yet? Okay, it is a very trippy, weird movie.
It's a very good movie.
Awesome.
It is a very good
awesome
movie.
And that is that magic realm, that mythic that Jack Kirby and them used to bring back in the day in the comics, where you just look at these graphic pictures and colors and everything coming out, and you're just like, holy crap, what are these guys tripping on right now? But seeing that in motion and Doctor Strange was fantastic. I mean, that's going to come out now. We're going to get it here in WandaVision, which, like you said, is going to lead right into Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, which is going to lead right into Spider-Man, and so many other offshoots of what's happening around the MCU right now. There's so much things, so much content. I know we're limited on time ultimately, but this is going to be so much that we're going to unravel, during this year. And I know you and I are talking about it, and we are doing this show. So please, if you have anything you'd like to add, comments, questions, anything like that, please leave them for us to discuss. We'd love to hear back from everybody, because, we want to be part of this discussion. This is just 2 guys, sitting around discussing, the things that they love. So we'd like to hear back from everybody else as well. That's why we're doing this. We want to have a discussion openly with everybody. So let's give us your thoughts.
Indeed, and I can't think of any better way to end this show than that. Brother, I cannot wait to talk about more WandaVision with you as the weeks go by and other things, and we look forward to sharing that with you. So definitely, if you have any thoughts about WandaVision, or you completely disagree with what we have to say, let us know. We love to hear from you, and we will be nice about it. Don't be a dick.
Yeah, well, we are a couple of jerk-offs. We know this. Trust us. But, we're cool sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. So anyway, so that's going to be it for this. We will see you next time for WandaVision Episode 3, among other videos, and we will catch you next time. See ya.
Yes.
Look at you. You done did it. You made it all the way to the end of the video. This guy didn't think you were able to do it. I had all the faith in the world in you, and I appreciate that about you.
On that note, like we said before, make sure you leave your comments, like, share, subscribe. Or not, but you should do it.
You should do it. Do it. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Or
do
not.
it. Or not.
Do it. But
Please do it. Nah, you don't have to.